Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. We've got our DraftKings Play of the Week and our King of the Game coming up in the show. Hawks lose 6-5 to the Edmonton Oilers at the United Center in just a absolutely wild and entertaining hockey game. There were 11 goals. There were 20 combined penalties. It was just chaos from start to finish. And wow, I mean, if you're not entertained by this Hawks team, and look, you know, it's a loss. I guess you can call this a tank win. But man, they are entertaining as hell. They never quit. They compete their asses off. And in this one, you had one dude, number 97, for the Edmonton Oilers saying, I'm going to win this game. And he did it. And that guy, this is my first time. For those that don't know, usually at least two of us are at the United Center for the first two periods. Mario came straight here. I went to the UC for the first two periods. It was my first time seeing Connor McDavid in person. And I really tried to isolate on him when he was on the ice. He is freaking unbelievable. I know I'm not saying anything that you never heard before, but his 0 to 60 is unreal. I've never seen anyone go from not moving to top speed as quickly as McDavid. And you're watching him on the ice. You look away for a second, and all of a sudden, somehow he's on the other side of the ice with the puck again. He's unfreaking believable. I've seen Mario Lemieux play. I've seen Wayne Gretzky play. I've seen Sidney Crosby play. This guy is right up there with all of them. He's absolutely unreal. And a ho-hum, 4 points all told?
Yeah, I think he had an assist on the game winner.
Meh.
Like, yeah, like you said, like you're not like breaking new ground and saying that Connor McDavid is an amazing player, but it's every time you get an opportunity to see him play, even when it's not against the Blackhawks, you know, you take time to go and watch him play because it is such a incredible experience to see that level of talent, and people want to hate on him because, you know, he'll never win a cup or whatever. It's just like, dude, like that guy is almost without question the most gifted and skilled hockey player living and breathing on this planet Earth right now.
Potentially ever. When you look at the entire package that he has, and
potentially,
this is not the Connor McDavid show, but we got to talk about him. I mean, will he pass Gretzky? Will he pass Lemieux? I don't know. It's a different era. Remember, a big part of Wayne Gretzky's career was playing against goalies that like were plumbers in the offseason.
Right,
and their goaltending style was, I don't know, just fling my arms and legs up in the air and see what happens.
Throw your body forward. So kind of like Alex Stalock.
Yes.
Just throw your body forward at the puck.
Yeah.
You'll probably stop.
If Alex Stalock was wearing like bed pillows on his legs, that would be. But McDavid's just unreal. But this game, man, I see a lot of people in the chat saying you can't even be mad about this one.
No, absolutely not.
It's just they competed. They had many opportunities in which last year's team would have said, we're out. We lost. This game's over. They battled, and just at the end of the game, another one of the best players in the world, Leon Draisaitl, gets the game winner, and what are you going to do? I mean, it's just they're playing well against good teams, and like we've said after most of the games this year, when you go in and you dig in the numbers, it's a lot worse probably than it looks, especially at 5-on-5. The Oilers had a big edge in play, but there's something to be said for battle and compete, and the Hawks have tons of it.
Watching this game tonight, and especially how it unfolded from the second period on, I just thought back to last year's team and just how many opportunities this game would have presented for that team at this point last year to absolutely check out of the game. And this year, we are not seeing that. We have, in each game this season, the Blackhawks are now 4-3. In each game this season, there have been opportunities where a team that is built to be bad, built to lose, the expectation is to tank and the rebuild is on and all that. There has been an opportunity in each of the first 7 games of this season for the Blackhawks to pack it in, check out.
Yep.
They have every opportunity presented to them to be 0-7 right now. And they have 4 wins, and they have never been outside of Colorado. They haven't looked vastly outmatched.
No, and I think even going back to the Colorado game, you and I doing the post-game show on very little sleep, it just sort of felt like it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be. We were talking 7-1, 8-1, laughed out of the building, and the final score was 5-2, but it wasn't as big of a blowout as it felt, as we thought it would be. And it's a 1-0 loss in Vegas. Like, it's just they have been really competitive this year, and for the weapons they have, especially now with Tyler Johnson out, Jujhar Khaira was up there with Taves and Radish for a big chunk of the game, but then in the third, you saw Kurashev finally get his chance and take advantage of it with some good opportunities.
It's good.
It was a good game, and Chuck Mucko brings up a good point that he's not so much frustrated with the loss as how it ended. Yeah, Jonathan Taves with a real bad clearing attempt. If you didn't watch the game on TV, Troy Murray called it out, said Jonathan Taves has to make a better and a smarter play there, and he's right. It was a bad play and a bad moment from a guy who's had a really good season up until then. He's got to make a safer play and get that puck out of the zone.
Scored in this game.
37 seconds left. Clear the puck out of the zone and live for overtime. But hey, if you're excited about tank standings, that's how you want to do. You don't want that extra point because, boy, can you imagine Connor McDavid 3-on-3? Just win the faceoff back to Stalock, have him just throw it in the back of the net, and let's go home.
and Connor McDavid relatively rested given all the penalty killing that the Oilers had to do and whatnot. So
I said to Greg, he served the Campbell delay a game.
Yeah,
McDavid served that penalty, and you got to think the Hawks were like, okay, we don't have to look over our shoulder to wonder where this guy is.
A guaranteed 2 minutes for him to be off the ice.
All right, well, we've been recapping the scoring after games, so I'm going to give it my best try, okay?
Buckle in.
There are 11 games here. Please have mercy on my soul.
We don't have to recap the penalties.
No, we will not do that.
We'll be able to finish this show on time.
10:29 into the game, Zach Hyman scores his 4th goal of the season, a one-timer from a great pass from Connor McDavid. McDavid's first of 4 points there. Just under 3 minutes later, Andreas Athanasiou gets a breakaway, stick handles, gets Jack Campbell out of position. A beautiful, beautiful goal by Andreas Athanasiou with finish, which we were kind of like, he's just going to skate and lose the puck. Nope, he didn't. He scored on that play. Jared Tenorti makes a nice defensive play right in front of Stalock to break up a scoring chance. Puck goes the other way. That is Andreas Athanasiou's 200th point, assisted by Max Domi. And as we talked about in last game, Mario, we're really starting to see that Kane, Athanasiou, Domi line generate some chemistry. You had a 3-point night from Kane, a 3-point night from Domi. They're really starting to figure each other out. Both instances have been Athanasiou cherry picking a little bit, but they're starting to learn each other's habits and learn the chemistry, so you're seeing them produce.
If you know he's going to bust out of the defensive zone and go for a breakaway, if you know he's going to do that and where he's going to be, you can do exactly what Max Domi did and flip the puck to center ice in the general direction of Athanasiou and let him use his speed. So
that's it.
3 guys who have never played together before finally figuring out how to play together is what you want to see.
2:38 later, the Hawks take a 2-1 lead on Reese Johnson's first goal of the season in his first game of the season. Caleb Jones shoots a point shot after Blackwell drives down the left wing side, skates behind the net, gets it to Jones at the point. Jones shoots right away, rebound. Reese Johnson calmly corrals the puck, puts it in the back of a wide open net. It's 2-1 Hawks. That's how the first period would end.
And it was the calmest moment of the game.
Then the second period began, and we're not going to recap the penalties because, holy cow, who's got time for that? It's only an hour show. McDavid's first goal of the game, just sort of wheeling through the defensive zone, cuts through center ice, weaves in, snipe shot over the shoulder of Stalock. Nothing he can do. That's his 6th of the season, assisted by Evan Bouchard. A minute, 15 later, 1:33 into the second, the Hawks take the lead again. Jonathan Taves with a beautiful redirection of Max Domi's shot, maybe a pass from the left wing circle. Taves is 4th of the season, Domi gets his third assist. Kane with his fifth assist of the season as well. Oilers tie it up 8:28 into the third period. Guess who? Yep, it's Connor McDavid on a 4-on-3 power play. McDavid shoots. Stalock gets a piece of it, but the puck flutters in behind him. McDavid's seventh. Draisaitl picks up his 10th assist. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with his fifth assist of the season.
One of those goals that makes you throw your controller.
Yeah, that was one of those. Absolutely. Looks like the Oilers go up 4-3. There's a net front scrum. Seth Jones, Evander Kane, verified Pudwack, and Alex Stalock all sort of get mixed up there.
He has the Pudwack blue check mark.
Yes, he does. He falls on top of Stalock, doesn't do much to get off of him. The ruling on the ice is no goal. Announced no goal. Edmonton challenges. Lose the challenge. Therefore, the Hawks go on the power play, and nothing happened on that one. Evander Kane then gets an unsportsmanlike conduct
from the bench
for yapping. So the Hawks go on to 5-on-3 for a minute 37. Max Domi makes it 4-3 Hawks on the power play. A beautiful one-timer from Radish and Kane, kind of a tic-tac-toe goal. That's how the third period ends, or the second period ends. Hawks are up 4-3. 24 seconds into the third, it's 4-4. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins gets a cross-crease pass from Leon Draisaitl. So Hopkins with his fifth, Draisaitl 11th assist, and Tyson Barrie gets his second assist. On that one, a series of power plays and penalties from both teams happen. Then McDavid gets the hat trick. 10-16 into the third period. Hawks can't clear the puck. McDavid gets the puck one-on-one with Jake McCabe. And rest in peace, Jake McCabe. Hey. He's going to be a Kirby Dockian highlight candidate for the rest of history on that one. McDavid just walks him, as he's done to so many good defensemen before. No shot. And there's the hat trick goal for Connor McDavid.
I tip my hat to McCabe just having the bravery to
what are you gonna
to
do?
Attempt to defend Connor McDavid aggressively.
I was talking to Greg before, I don't know if it was before the game started or right when it started, and I remember I was a teenager and I went to see Mario Lemieux play against the Hawks, and I had really good 100 level seats, and there was a part where I was sort of right on the blue line, so maybe 10 feet into the offensive zone for the Penguins. Lemieux's got the puck, and he's just looking around on the board, right? Looking around. I scream out someone get him. Someone, someone get the puck. And they weren't responding to me, but sure enough, a Hawks player goes to try to take the puck from Mario Lemieux, and he's beautiful, just what I wanted. Whoop, floats a little saucer pass right on the tape, goal. It's you can't defend players like that. Mm-mm. It is you just hope for the best. You hope that your stick gets in the way of his, and you hope for the best. And boy, Jake McCabe was made to look silly on it, but what's he going to do? The guy's just unreal.
Well, and two of McDavid's goals, one, the snipe shot against Stalock, not the one that floated over his head. That one was defended by Seth Jones, and Jones was in a decent position defensively.
Yep.
And was, Seth Jones and Connor McDavid, he is going to lose that foot race 100 times out of 100. So he's respecting the speed of McDavid and is in a good position, but giving space to McDavid allows him to get off his ridiculously great shot.
Yep.
McCabe, again, not the foot speed of McDavid, tries to close the gap and be aggressive, and McDavid's like, "Oh, thanks for doing that, so I can just scoot around you and use his speed and agility to outmaneuver any defender that's in front of him." And scores again. So it's really, like you said, you kind of just have to hope for the best when defending McDavid, because he is one of maybe 4 players in the NHL which there's no way to skillfully defend them. It's McDavid, McKinnon, Makar, and Matthews, all the M's.
The Oilers have played 8 games. Connor McDavid has 15 points.
Is that it?
That's freaking unreal.
That's insane.
Unreal.
The stat that they said it on the broadcast.
Draisaitl also has 15 points for the record.
Of course they do. Yeah. just hand the MVP back and forth.
Sorry, what were you going to say? They showed
I was just going to say McDavid. I don't have it in front of me, but McDavid's career numbers are 780 points in 490 games or something like that. In the modern era, of hockey, of the NHL, to have a player producing like that and to be at his skill level, it's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk this year about McDavid sort of being more aggressive and wanting to score more.
That's scary. And you saw it tonight.
I mean, the criticism for him was that he passes too much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll just score 70 goals.
Yeah,
again,
Austin Matthews scoring 60 got a ton of praise. So McDavid scoring 60 this year is gonna match that and probably be even more.
It's wild. All right, so 16:49 into the third, Patrick Kane scores off a Jake McCabe rebound shot, squirts right to Kane. He's not going to miss that shot very many times. 5-5.
Big moment.
Then, as we discussed, with 37 seconds left to go, Jonathan Toews can't clear. Yamamoto gets the puck to Evander Kane to Draisaitl, and Draisaitl scores his fourth of the season. Evander Kane picks up his 6 assists, and Yamamoto with his second assist of the year. And that's how the game ends. 6-5. Oilers win. Tank win, I guess we'll call it.
It is a tank win, and it's a quintessential tank win. You lose in regulation, and you show all of the signs of a team that is buying into a system, that is buying into what Luke Richardson is preaching, and playing for each other, playing for each guy on the bench, and not just packing it in and giving up. And giving up on the season. Phil Thompson talked with Jack Johnson before today's game, and he asked him about the tank this season, the expectations, and do players worry about things like that? Do they worry about the Blackhawks potentially having a shot at Connor Bedard? And Jack Johnson was like, well, drafting great players is wonderful. That's what the organization wants. That's what fans want. That's what people care about. But we're here to win games.
Yeah.
The Blackhawks players do not care about the draft lottery odds. They don't care about potentially Connor Bedard being a Blackhawk next year. They care about the game in front of them and scoring more goals than the opponent. That's all they care about. That's all they're paid to do. So seeing the effort and the GF meters on this Blackhawks team being as high as they are already early on this season, in a game like this, that's absolutely what you want to see.
No doubt. All right, we got Greg standing by. Before that, let's update the tank standings. Let's see how they stand. As the Hawks pick up a tank win
the tank
against the Oilers in this one.
I think the engine stalled for a few days, but we got the mechanic on it. That tank is
tank looks good, nice and
functioning.
shiny. It's good to go. All right, the mighty Vancouver Canucks still lead the tank standings with 2 points in 7 games. Anaheim right on their heels, 3 points in 7 games. The Sharks with 4 points in 9 games.
Yeah, they've turned it around.
Oof. Arizona with 4 points in 6 games. The Blue Jackets with 6 points in 8 games, and then the Blackhawks 8 points in 7 games. So there are your tank standings.
I can't believe Vancouver.
They suck. They're bad.
Did not expect them to be off to this bad of a start.
Yep. Hey, Shady Rays, they are awesome.
They are.
I know Greg has been rocking them for a long time. Ours are coming soon. We placed like a company order with the Shady Rays, and I cannot wait to get them. At Shady Rays, they never understood why sunglasses were so expensive, so they set out to change it. You don't have to break the bank for quality sunglasses this fall because our friends at Shady Rays have you covered. They're premium, polarized shades with world-class optical clarity, substantial durability, and styles catered to everyone and every lifestyle. The best part about Shady Rays is they have the most insane protection program in all of eyewear. Lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your shades, on day 1, they told us they'll send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Dropped in a lake, chain of lakes like Mario, off a cliff, anything, they will replace your Shady Rays. They also provide 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order placed and have donated over 20 million meals to date. They stand behind their product and told our team that if anyone has a problem, they throw profit out the window and do what it takes to get it right. Free returns, free exchanges. You'll either love the shades or Shady Rays will pay to ship them back. That's it. And here's an exclusive deal for CHGO listeners. Shady Rays is running their deepest deal of the season. Use code CHGO for 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. Buy one, get one free. You can get 2 pairs for as low as $54. Redeem only at shadyrays.com, where you can find all their newest and best shades.
Love that. Love that math. 2 for 50%.
I think it's BOGO,
off.
as they say in the old country.
That is BOGO.
Yep.
You also, some good math that you can get on board is the number 75. Is a number math if it's just the number? I don't know. Anyways, 75.
I'm confused, so yes.
75 is the amount of high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens that you are absorbing in just one scoop of AG1 from Athletic Greens. What is AG1? It is a formula designed to improve your gut health, optimize your immune system, and give you more natural energy. All you got to do is scoop that AG1 into 1 cup of water each day. That's all you got to do to get the best from Athletic Greens and give your immune system a boost, give your energy a boost, and give that gut a break from all those Green Ridge Farms meats you're eating. Put some AG1 in there. It's going to help your digestive system for sure.
We won't be doing that.
If you have any dietary restrictions or anything like that, gluten-free, dairy-free, if you're doing the keto diet or the paleo diet, whatever it is, you're able to incorporate AG1 into those diets, no problem whatsoever. It's a small once-a-day habit with big benefits. And right now, it is time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. Again, just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase when you go to athleticgreens.com/CHGO Blackhawks. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/CHGO Blackhawks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
All right, before we get to Greg, we've got nearly 100 people in the chat and only 32 likes on the YouTube page. You got 4 seconds. Scroll down, smash that like button.
Yeah, let's
It really helps us promote the show, promote the company, promote all the great things we're doing here at CHGO. So please, please, please.
Get a 1 like to 1 viewer ratio.
Yeah, smash that like button.
That's math I can understand.
Make sure you're subscribed or get your podcast as well. All right, let's go live to the United Center and bring in our guy, Greg Boysen. What's up, Greg? How was the post game?
Rather uneventful. Pretty empty Blackhawks locker room. It was Patrick Kane and Max Domi kind of hanging out, and everybody went to Patrick Kane. So Tracy Myers got an exclusive interview with Max Domi. So
Nice.
not a lot coming out of there. Luke Richardson in his post game is close to seeing him be upset as I have since he came here. I don't know if he was mad at anything in particular, but you could just tell he was like, as crazy as that was, we probably should have won that game. But, as he said, you can't, in today's NHL, you can't high stick, you can't slash people on the hands, and you can't do that against a team like this because they will kill you, and that's what happened.
Well, he's right. I mean, look, Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are 2 of the best players in hockey, and anytime you give that team a man advantage, you're asking for it. And they're lucky that they only give up 2 in the end of the night.
3
power play goals. I mean, they had 9 penalties, so I mean, you kind of look like, well, you escaped a little bit in this one. But yeah, I mean, this has kind of been the one thing has been they've been a little penalty heavy. And that's what happens when the other teams are more talented than you and faster than you, is you get caught and you got to make a decision here. Well, am I going to take a penalty or give up a breakaway? And a lot of times the Hawks are opting for the penalty, which maybe isn't the worst idea in the world, but it's going to catch up with you. It's going to wear out your players. It is exhausting, the penalty kill. So, hey, Luke Richardson knows that. He was a penalty killer his entire career. Curious if he said anything about Taves' clearing attempt that led to the Draisaitl goal.
Nothing particular, but he did mention kind of what you just said. They started giving up more room to those guys in the third period because they were fatigued. They were just out there too many times. And when you're fatigued, I'm going to paraphrase his quote, when you're fatigued, your brain doesn't work right and you make mistakes. So I think that was in reference to Jonathan Toews without uh, calling him out by name. He did mention that Jack Johnson should have definitely closed in on Leon Draisaitl a little more there, gave him too much space. And said the forwards. It just everybody started to back off in that third period. And a lot of that was because they were just out there too many times and they were tired. And you also had guys who haven't been killing penalties that much this season because guys like Colin Blackwell and Mackenzie Entwistle were taking penalties and we had to switch things up. And Toews was out there for both sides, power play and penalty kill. He hasn't been doing a lot of penalty kill this season, but I think it was just more of a fact that he made a mental mistake because he was tired. That's what Luke Richardson's saying. You're gonna give Jonathan Toews a little more leeway there than if it was Reese Johnson who made that play. But it was an egregious play from a guy that had been out there. I'm going to go without looking up the stats. I'm going to assume that was the most ice time Jonathan Toews has had all season long. That would be an educated guess.
Yeah, 1905 for Toews in the game. He played 907 on the power play, 148 shorthanded. But yeah, I mean, you're right. When you're out there killing penalties the whole night, it's going to wear on you.
The kids, especially how much they were out there Tuesday night as well. We had thought Tuesday's second period was crazy, and then tonight's second period said, "Hold my beer and my chaser and my case of uppers," because this is good. I mean, Jay, you were here for that. That was some of the. I mean, in my 43 trips around the sun, I've seen a lot of crazy hockey periods at all levels. But as far as NHL periods go, that one was wild.
Yeah, I would put some money down on DraftKings that would probably be the weirdest, wildest period that we see this season. Speaking of the penalty kill and coming off of the last game where they were 6 for 6, did Kane? I know he's not a penalty killer, but did Kane or Richardson, either one of them, address the penalty kill in the sense that, kind of like with the Avalanche, there's only so much you can do against a power play like Edmonton has?
That's exactly what Luke Richardson said. He said, we got away with it on Tuesday, and we can't keep doing that. He says he wants to keep penalties 3 or less per game. Well, you tripled that tonight. You doubled it Tuesday, you tripled it tonight. They are a long way. And I think the frustrating part for Luke Richardson is a lot of them are the stick-type penalties, the ones that can be avoided, the slashings, the hookings because you got caught. One of the terms Luke Richardson loves to use, and it's trickling through the locker room these days, is playing above them. He loves to say we have to play above them, and he said that this morning, meaning you got to stay in front of them. You can't let them get by you. And as soon as those guys were getting by you, here come the slashing penalties. Here come the hooking penalties. It's one thing if you get an interference penalty because you're trying to be physical or a cross-checking penalty, but it's those stick penalties that can be avoided. And I think those are what was frustrating to him. But he definitely said too many penalties. You can't get away with it against Colorado. You can't get away with it against a team like Edmonton. They just got too many special players on that side, and you just hey, at least on the bright side, they didn't have to face Connor McDavid in 3-on-3 overtime because that probably would have been a quick one with that guy. To see him in person, my God, he's playing a different game than the rest of the league.
Yeah, we needed a new league for him. Like somewhere where him and those guys can go play together because it's just him and Makar, where it's like, what's the ultra NHL? Because that's where they belong.
If the Oilers can't win a Stanley Cup with him, just epic failure. The guy is he's one of the greatest player I've ever seen play in person in my lifetime. It's just the way he does things at a different pace, at a different speed, just so effortlessly. He doesn't even look like he breaks a sweat out there, and he just makes guys look silly. Unfortunately, it was Jake McCabe that fell victim to a play that he's made 100 times before. You just can't do anything about it except close your eyes and go, oh, shit. That's pretty much how you defend Connor McDavid.
I want to know, did anyone say anything about Alex Stalock's antics in the third period? There was a moment where Puck went and he put his arms out to kind of prevent any Oilers from going around him at all. And Colby Cohen said during the broadcast that it got a little chuckle out of the Hawks bench. I know after a loss, people probably aren't in the mood to laugh and joke around, but man, every game there's one of those, at least one
There's
of
many
those
moments.
out of the net moments from Stalock that just makes you pull your hair out / laugh at the same time.
Yeah, there wasn't much talk about Stalock because, there was a lot of other things to talk about tonight. But I think that's just something we're going to have to get used to. I think him being just overly aggressive, borderline weird is something is the norm. And we're just going to have to expect it. It's been working for him for the most part so far. He battled tonight. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. I think his most impressive save came in that first period, right before the Reese Johnson goal. They set up the same exact play to Zach Hyman that they scored the first goal on, and he got over and made the save. And like 30 seconds later, Reese Johnson scores the goal to put him up. I thought that was going to be a big turning point to the game, but nobody had any idea what was going to happen in that second period. The whatever button they hit in the locker room, don't press that one again.
Yeah, it just seems like this is the Alex Stalock experience, and we're all along for the ride. So, hey, I mean, it like you said, Jay, it gives you something to react to, whether it's a laugh or a heart palpitation.
It'll be interesting to see which game Stalock plays this weekend, because Luke Richardson has been saying that Arvid Soderblom with back-to-back games in Buffalo Saturday, home against Minnesota Sunday. Usually you'd probably want to give the young, inexperienced guy that home start, but considering it's the Wild, one of Stalock's former team, and he's a Minnesota guy, maybe they give him that one and they let Soderblom take on the much improved Sabres on the road Saturday night.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they.
Yeah, I need a break from Stalock, personally.
The Hawks are practicing tomorrow morning, so I'll head up to the rink tomorrow morning, and we'll see if we can get a definitive answer who's playing Saturday.
Nice. We've been talking about the craziness and the penalties. When talking to Kane or to Richardson, was there any talk about the kind of the chemistry that is continuing to build between Kane and Domi and Athanasiou, because all three of them had major nights tonight?
Yeah, Kane mentioned that they're really building something, and he had said the other day after morning skate that he appreciates that the coaching staff was patient. Everybody in our chats, everybody on Twitter, or even the three of us, at one point said, hey, maybe it's time to break up that line, give Philip Kurashev, give someone else a look. But he's very appreciative that the coaching staff stuck with them and allowed this chemistry to build. And Kane, overall, Kane said, he's very happy with the start of his first 7 games. He's saying that he's another guy that's saying the mood in the room is different. These guys are playing for each other. They're loose, but they're competitive, and he said he's very happy with how this season has gone so far. So, there's with the expectations this team had, and as much as the players, when you ask them about it, say they don't pay attention to that, they do. They know that they've been picked to be one of the worst teams in the league, and so they've got an attitude that there's nothing to lose, and they're playing like it. And you know what? We saw the management group right after the game by the locker room. Kyle Davidson, Jeff Greenberg, Norm McIver, Brian Campbell all walked by, and I wouldn't be surprised if they stopped off in Luke Richardson's office and said, okay, we're going to script this game and stick to this script for the rest of the year. Let's have like 55 more of these really fun, competitive games that end up in one goal losses.
Yep. It was a good time, and when that second period ended and I had to head back here, I was a little bit disappointed because the official attendance was 13,685, so it's about 10K short of a sellout. And boy, the crowd was into it though. Start to finish, energetic crowd, loud anthem. I think this team is starting to win some people over that were like, screw this team. They're not trying to win. They're going on the cheap, whatever. They're seeing the compete this team has and that the game's entertaining. And I wonder if that's going to start showing up in the attendance this year a little bit.
Well, you would think. I've been making a habit of going on a pregame lap around the 100 level and 300 level, before pregame warmups, and it was just empty. I can't remember walking through the 300 level with nobody in the concourse. Granted it was 40 minutes before puck drop, but still. But the crowd was into it tonight. They had a lot to cheer from right off the bat. There was some early goals. There should be a buzz in arena when their Connor McDavid is out on the ice, and a Patrick Kane and a Leon Draisaitl. You got some of the best players to ever play the game on the ice. You should be excited to be in the building, and they certainly gave them a lot of reasons to get out of their seats. And you had the heroes, you had the villains. Evander Kane made no friends here tonight. Evander Kane, hashtag confirmed Pudwack. You got the full spectrum. That's what you paid for, Oilers. So, have fun.
Yeah, Troy Murray was saying he's such a good player when he stays on the rails, right? Like when he just plays hockey, worries about scoring goals, generating offense, keeps his mouth shut. And he's a Pudwack for many reasons, not just what happens on the ice, but he had it on full display on this one. It was the full Evander Kane experience.
Fun little tidbit about Troy Murray. I saw our buddy heading back up here. He was coming off the elevator I was going on, and he was kind of like shaking his head going, that was a thing. And I told him, I said, for that second period, it reminded me of some of the games of your playing days when it was just an all-out slugfest. And apparently during the second period, at one point, he said on the air, smoke them if you got them. So it was that kind of night.
He did.
Nice.
He did, yeah. I remember hearing that, yeah.
Nice suit I like the TV wardrobe from Troy is outstanding. He had the nice gray checker jacket with the purple tie, looking good.
When the other guy is Patrick Sharp, you have to step up your game.
To up your style game, yeah.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, never mind. Well, whatever. It's late. My wife has a massive crush on Troy Murray. Always has. So
I get it. He's a man's man. It's understandable.
So he's no very few are Patrick Sharp, but he's not too far off there.
One little interesting news tidbit to come out of the post game that we were standing waiting to get in the locker room, and Tyler Johnson came walking by, and his boot for his ankle was on his left ankle when the press release said it was his right ankle that was injured. So we mentioned that to the Hawks PR, and then they sent us a text message saying, oh, no, it is in fact his left ankle that's injured, not his right ankle. We made an error in the press release. So that's a little tidbit to come out of the locker room tonight.
Oh, well, now everything's different now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a boot on, huh? So that indicates – I know they probably won't give a specific timeline, but
Luke
he was put on our IR, so
pretty optimistic that it's not going to be super long. They only put him on regular IR, which means he's eligible to come back in a week. Doesn't mean he's coming back in a week. But the fact that they made no call-up, they got Boris Kachuk. Looking back, he said it's probably along the same kind of time frame as Kachuk's injury. So it just depends. Sprained ankles are like concussions. Everybody recovers from them, differently.
I've had dozens of them.
Yeah, I mean, some guys can come back from a sprained ankle in 2 days. Other guys can never recover from a sprained ankle. So it's one of those weird injuries that you just got to take it by case scenario.
All right, let's do it. Let's do our fourth stars of the game after the 6-5 loss to the Oilers. I am going with good old number 43, Colin Blackwell. Man, he is just a pucker. Not a baller, a pucker. He is out there working his ass off. He's like 5'3", 110 pounds.
Little pucker.
He's a little cannonball, that guy, and he drew a penalty in this game. He almost scored a shorthanded goal in this game. He is just a little spark plug, and he does not seem to understand that he's the smallest guy in the ice. There was a moment I was critical of, had the puck in the offensive zone, tried to skate back towards the point, and then got checked. I think it was Darnell Nurse, who is
Much
like
bigger.
twice his size, and the puck scored it free, and it led to a scoring chance for the Oilers. Other than that, though, I thought Colin Blackwell was outstanding. He gets my 4-star of the game. The actual 3 stars, someday I'll do this right. Number 3 was Patrick Kane. Number 2 was Leon Draisaitl. And number 1 was Connor McDavid, for the record.
Some talented players.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty heck of a top 3 right there. I mean,
Yeah.
that line would win a few cups together, right?
It would.
Hey, I did see Ken Holland on the phone after the game, so maybe he's trying to get Patrick Kane on his bus and leave Evander Kane back here. But
No.
we're not gonna fall for that. My 4-star, I'm gonna give it to defenseman Seth Jones. He had a really active game, as did most of them. With all that power play time, he was on the ice a lot. He led the team with 6 shots on goal. He's been very active from the back end the last couple of games. That's something that Luke Richardson has said in the last few meetings, that he wants his defensemen to be more active. He wants them to shoot the puck more. He wants them to move the puck quicker. It appears that Seth Jones has gotten that message. He did finish the night a -2, but when you're out there against Connor McDavid all night, you're probably going to be on the ice for some goals against, no matter how good you are. There was one play, he took that slashing penalty, which I didn't agree with. There was one play, while the Hawks were on a power play, it was him and Connor McDavid pretty much one-on-one. McDavid coming in with a shorthanded chance, and he did a really great job staying in front of him. And then the second he passed it, he hit him in the hands with his stick and got called for a slashing penalty. So again, when there's a superstar like that, the second they see a stick on the hands, they're going to call it. But otherwise, a really good game, another solid game for Seth Jones. That still looking for that first power play goal from a defenseman, but I think it's coming soon.
Eventually it will. You
It
would
has
think.
to. What happens first? A Hawks defenseman scores a power play goal, or Connor Bedard takes a shift in a Blackhawks uniform.
Man, I hope it's the power play goal. I don't know.
Actually, I would sacrifice power play goals for.
I would trade those
Connor
power play goals.
You know what? Yeah. If we're saying one or the other, I will take the Bedard side of things. My 4th star is a guy I thought was going to be one of the 3 stars of the game, but it is Max Domi. I think he is finding some chemistry with Andreas Athanasiou and Patrick Kane. That is wonderful news for the Blackhawks, trying to keep their offensive that trio together. I think that's going to continue to be their best offensive spark plug that they got going for them, and Max Domi is going to be a big part of it. He's here to be hard to play against. He's here to fit the mold that Kyle Davidson and Luke Richardson are trying to put together, and I think he's fitting in. I think tonight was a real kind of another breakthrough performance for him. 1 goal, 2 assists, was a +2, 75% from the face-off
He's
dot.
killing it at the dot, man.
Love to see that. I when he came to the team in the first few days of training camp, and it was those 3 together, and he was playing center, I was like, is he a full-time center? Or, because I don't think he did it a ton with Montreal, because those were the last years that he was like kind of taking the majority of the faceoffs in his career. But he is the best faceoff guy that the Blackhawks have right now. He's out dueling Jonathan Toews, which is probably refreshing for Toews that he doesn't have to be relied on to take every single draw anymore. So it's great to see. And in a game like today, where there were 50,000 penalty minutes handed out, Max Domi, a goose egg in the penalty minutes category. So, hey, how about that? Staying out of the box in a game that would have probably been a perfect game for him to have 5 penalty minutes, 10 penalty minutes, whatever it needed to be. Good to stay on the ice and be effective. So he's my 4th star.
Nate with a good comment. Sorry, go ahead.
Domi is a point-per-game player right now, a weapon on the power play, and one of the best face-off guys in the league. His trade value is skyrocketing right now. He might be a guy they may not wait until the trade deadline, because it's like, hey, his value may not get much higher than it is right now. But this is exactly the kind of start and the kind of season you wanted out of him if you're going to flip him.
Yeah. Nate says, poor Caleb Jones, 2 assists and a +2 with more hits and blocks than Seth, and still can't get attention. Sucks being the younger brother. For a long time, Caleb was my 4th star. Then he took 2 penalties, so I crossed him off. But I thought he had a really strong game today. He's going to have his moments where things don't look great, but for a borderline NHL defenseman, he had a really solid game. And what I like about him is that he shoots the damn puck. He's happy to put the puck on net. And I think that's something Luke Richardson appreciates from him. And I think that's why you're seeing him get more playing time than Philip Roos. I'd like to see Roos get another chance. I thought he was really solid in the game the other day. But, hey, solid game for Caleb Jones. And, yes, Nate, thanks for pointing it out because we should absolutely point that out. And we're talking about Max Domi here, and I'm starting to really like him. And I know they should trade him, but I wonder if maybe another contract would be in the offing for him in the offseason, as he's going to be unrestricted again. I don't know. I like what he's brought. There's a little bit of a swagger and confidence, not only to his game, but to his personality that I think is going a long way. So it's someone I wouldn't, if they're only going to get a 5th or 4th or something, maybe consider hanging on to him and see if you can re-up in the offseason. But we'll get to that one. We have plenty of time to
cross
talk about
that bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Greg, we're going to let you hit the road. Thanks for the great updates from the UC, and we'll see you here. Our first in-studio road game of the season. The 3 of us will be here Saturday night. Puck drop is at 6 p.m. in Buffalo, and we'll be on probably right around 9. So, Greg, we'll see you then. Thanks, man.
It's a game in Buffalo, so we're going to have to get some chicken wings with our pizza Saturday night.
No, not that.
Anything but that.
No. I hate wings.
Sounds good.
I didn't write the rule. I just live by it.
All right. Oh, you convinced me. All right, we'll see you then, man. Thanks. That is Greg Boysen from the United Center. Follow him on Twitter at Greg Boysen. And if you've not done it already, make sure you smash that like button in the YouTube chat. Another big crowd tonight. We appreciate that. So it's a good time to tell you about our upcoming CHGO Chicago versus Miami tailgate. Woo. Sunday, November 6th. We're going to be in the parking lot at Michigan and Roosevelt. We're going to be drinking beers. We're going to be eating foods. We're going to be playing games, winning prizes, dancing to the DJ. It is a great, great time. I'm going to be there. Are you going?
I will be there.
Mario will be there. Greg's going to be there. I think
the sweater.
Most of the CHGO crew will be out there. So come join us. It's a great time. You do not need a ticket to the Bears game to attend the tailgate, but you do need a ticket to the tailgate to attend the tailgate. The way you get that, allchgo.com. There are a couple ticketing options on there, so make sure you search carefully. One of them has parking included. So jump in there. Come join us. It was an awesome time the other time we did it, and we'd love to see you come out and say hello and hang out with us. And if you are looking for tickets to the game, of course, the best way to get that is via the Game Time app. Just make sure you use the links in our podcast descriptions to get access to those great deals from our friends at Game Time. So join us November 6th, Bears, Dolphins at the corner of Michigan and Roosevelt. It's going to be a great time. 8 a.m. until noon. We'll be there for the entirety of the pregame. It's going to be an awesome time. I can't wait to see what the food is this time. Yeah,
the first go around of the tailgating experience with CHGO was fantastic. I had a great time. The food was really good. We had taco truck was doing breakfast tacos and then other regular tacos as the day progressed, and there was pizza and donuts and coffee earlier in the day. It was a great time. So come out and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. This Bears team is kind of being interesting. I was talking with Steven earlier in the evening watching the game and talking about CHGO and the landscape of Chicago sports. And I said, as long as each team is interesting, that is all we can ask for. The Bears are keeping things interesting. The Blackhawks are keeping things interesting. The Bulls are going to be competitive.
Yeah.
They'll be interesting. Cubs and Sox are always interesting. The Fire, the Red Stars, the Sky. Every team has got some sort of angle that can keep you hooked into it. So Yeah, keep it locked to CHGO.
Yeah, we're having a great time, man. It's been not quite a year, but we're getting there. And there's not a day that goes by where I don't look forward to work. Honest to God, like off days, I kind of miss it. You know, and being at the United Center every game is just it's been an amazing experience. So thanks to everybody who is watching it and making it possible. And again, remember the best way to support us, become a member at allchgo.com. Get that membership. I know it's going to look a little different in the near future. We can't share too much now, but we're kind of reimagining the membership thing. But it's a great time to jump on. You get a free t-shirt, a bunch of new designs coming up. And I know there's a new Hawks design coming soon from what I'm told. I was told that today. So keep your eye on that as well. So, yeah.
Another great way to support us.
So I wanted to wrap the show up talking about our beloved Philip Kurashev, who ended the game on the second line with whatever. I don't even know what the numbers are anymore, but it was with Jonathan Taves and Taylor Radish. And I have been so impressed with him. And I think if you're looking for like little things to watch on a young player, just in general, is you'll see, and we talked about this a lot with like, we use the analogy, a scout told me this once about young defensemen, where it looks calm on the surface, but under the water, the feet are going crazy like a duck, right? When you see a young player take an extra second, make an extra stick handle to make a better play, that shows you that the game has slowed down for them a little bit. They're not so panicked in their minds during the game. You're seeing Philip Kurashev play with a ton of confidence. Greg Boysen wrote about it today for allchgo.com. Make sure you check that out. But we've been talking about like who on this team is going to be part of things when the Hawks are good again. I'm throwing a vote in for Philip Kurashev. I hope that they find a way to get him re-signed and part of this team long term, because I really I think he is arguably the best defensive forward on the team right now. That's valuable. Mm-hmm. He's 23 years old. He makes $750,000. He's a restricted free agent. I think it is an absolute no-brainer to give Philip Kurashev at least a 3 or 4 year deal and have him around for potentially when this team gets good again.
Yeah, I think early signs this season are that he is turning a corner in his young career, and that is absolutely what you wanted to see from a guy like him. Yeah, there's not too many young players that the Blackhawks have right now that are in their system at the AHL or NHL level outside of Kurashev, Reichel, as far as the forwards group goes. And yeah, I would say investing in Philip Kurashev beyond this season is probably the right move for the Blackhawks. I think if he continues to play at the level that he's shown in the first 7 games, absolutely he is part of the team in at least the next handful of seasons.
Yeah, I really like what he brings. The offense is starting to catch up with the defense, and the opportunity and the trust from the coach, which is huge. And Kurashev said as much in the piece that Greg did today. Mm-hmm. So again, make sure you check that out at allchgo.com. We should also mention Reese Johnson getting his first game of the season, scoring a goal. Another moment where a young player might panic, but he was calm, corralled the puck, made no mistake, got that goal. Not a ton of ice time for him. A lot of that was due to so many special teams in this game, but in 5:55, that's it. That's all he played in this one. He had a goal, 2 shots on goal, and 2 hits. He was noticeable in very, very limited ice time. So who knows if that goes up as he gets in here for Tyler Johnson, and maybe the game against Buffalo and the game against Minnesota will be a little more air quotes normal in terms of penalties and things like that. But and just under 6 minutes ice time, I thought he had a really nice game.
Yeah, and great to see him get an opportunity to get into the lineup. You hate to see it because of injury, but it is what it is. To be able to step in and get into the game, make an impact, and make those minutes count. I think that's one of the biggest things that we're seeing with some of these more down the lineup players, is they have the mentality of make every shift count. It's a cliche, but I think it's something that Luke Richardson is trying to implement, and I think it's something that the team is coming around on in finding their identity is being that hardworking, every shift matters, 100% all the time mentality. And guys like Sam Lafferty and Colin Blackwell, Mackenzie Entwistle, Reese Johnson is in that category as well as a guy who plays that way. And great to see him, get into the lineup and get rewarded with, being in the right spot and getting his goal.
And one more little news and note from the box score here. Greg was talking about the goal coming for the Blackhawks defenseman on the power play. Seth Jones, 6 shots on goal in this game. That's a week's worth last season from Seth Jones.
Yeah.
It's really good to see him being aggressive and shooting the puck. He's got a nice heavy shot. Just get some traffic in front and hope it gets through some. It's coming. It's coming for Seth Jones, and I love the aggressiveness he's shown offensively.
Yeah, and I think that's got to be something that he is making a point out of this season, because it was something he was asked about all last season.
Yep.
Especially as things went on, and that that not scoring on the power play became more of a storyline. He was asked about it seemingly every day. So that's got to be something that, even though it probably hasn't really been asked as much to start the season, it's probably something that's still on his mind. So getting to be more offensively aggressive is good, especially with a guy like Seth Jones, who plays a lot of minutes and plays a lot of time against the opponent's top players. A game like this where Jones was a -2. He's playing a lot against McDavid and Draisaitl. So defensively, you're gonna give some of that away. With Jones, he has the ability to make up for it offensively. So you want to see him be aggressive offensively on the power play, and he's doing that early on.
All right, it is time for our DraftKings pick of the week. I know you've done the honors this week, Mario.
I will be doing the honors. Yeah, I mean, we talked about the tailgate, talked about, the Bears being interesting. They have a very interesting matchup this Sunday, taking on the Dallas Cowboys, who look like they will potentially be without Ezekiel Elliott, and Micah Parsons on the defensive side of things for the Cowboys will be banged up a little bit. So the Bears might be able to take advantage of Cowboys team with a definitely less than 100% Dak Prescott, and not having one of their 2 running back options there. So that's something that I think the Bears might have an opportunity to take advantage of. So I'm looking at this game, and if you're looking for value, like I usually do, when I bet, I don't like to take the bets that have a good chance of happening. I like to take the ones with the plus money, and that is why I have lost most bets that I've taken.
Right,
but hey,
fun.
you got to smoke them while you got them, as Troy Murray says.
Exactly right.
So I am going to go and bet on the Bears' defense in this game, which usually is a good bet. Dak Prescott at over a half an interception is plus 140. He's got a banged up hand, and I think seeing some of the highlights from the Cowboys game against the Lions, you can tell he is definitely not playing at 100% with the banged up hand. So I would put a shiny nickel on Dak Prescott, maybe having a pass sail on him, or being out of sync with his receivers. It could happen, and the Bears could capitalize on it. So over a half interception at plus 140. Oof. Put that money down there on your DraftKings app, and when you do sign up for DraftKings, use the promo code CHGO.
Free money, my friends, and it is finally time to hit the ice again. And thanks to DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you're in for the season of a lifetime. New users can bet $5 on any team to win and get $200 in free bets when they do. If that wasn't enough excitement, you can turn small bets into bigger payouts with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more for your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code CHGO and bet $5 on any NHL team to win their game and get $200 in free bets if they do. That's code CHGO at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And that leads us into our DraftKings King of the game. We're going to give it to number 88, Patrick Kane.
Yep.
A goal, 2 assists, 6 shots on goal officially, Steven. I think they added a shot on goal, and 22-16 of ice time for Patrick Kane. Another, we talk about a ho-hum 4 points for Connor McDavid, a ho-hum 3 points for Patrick Kane. In this one, he is the DraftKings king of the game.
He had to wait a couple of games to get his first goal, but that came in the last one, and Luke Richardson said before Tuesday's game that maybe getting that first one will open the floodgates. Kane now with goals in back-to-back games. Great to see, and you know, obviously the Oilers went on to win the game. But the goal to tie the game for Kane being there at the right time, right opportunity, making the most of it, and you know, to see the in his celebration after that goal, it really, you know, there's only so much you can kind of read on him because he's not very an expressive person,
right.
But on the ice he very much is. So that was something that I think was great to see, to not only have that moment, but to see that like energy come out from him was fantastic, and I think that's just a testament to a player of his standing caring at this about this at this point in this season, and I think that's a big thing.
Before we wrap up, Ryan points out the Sharks are up on the Leafs in the third
Of course
period.
they are. And
this game, by the way, reminded me of that game against the Leafs a couple years ago where Kane and Matthews were doing the "I can't hear you" taunt at each other.
That was
that was a fun one. This was a fun one, and it was a fun postgame show. So thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Like we said earlier, reminder: we are with you Saturday night and Sunday night. Both games are at 6 p.m. Saturday. In Buffalo, Saturday back home against the Wild.
Sunday.
And we'll be on after both games, so make sure you join us. Hey, if you got some Hawks fans, friends that have not tuned in to CHGO yet, let them know. Word of mouth helps us out big time, and of course, smashing that like button on the YouTube channel is huge, huge help as well. So thanks to everybody who joined us in the chat. Thanks to everybody who watched the YouTube. Thanks to everybody who listens on the podcast. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank you to Steven for running the show. For Mario, he's right there. For Greg, who's driving home, I'm Jay. Thanks for listening to the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.